Take two.
No.
We were on a good rant.
Oh, dude.
I thought it was recording. Take two. Just something.
Hold on. We're gonna redo this at the spot we stopped at. Okay. Right now, I feel like I got 1 foot out of the grave, bro. 1 foot out of the grave. And,
all right, guys. So just want to check in real quick. I took Zach to go take a shower, but we got there a little too late. So we're going to go back on Monday early and get him a shower. So one step at a time. He's feeling pretty good, so.
Yeah, doing all right, folks. Friends and neighbors, family, all of you guys. Sorry about the dirty face, but we still got 1 foot out. We only have 1 foot out of Dysfunction Junction. We are relocating to Construction Junction because we're rebuilding a life. I've been doing a lot of talking. I've been reading some of the comments. Thank you for those great comments. Positive or not, most of them not. They're good because they keep me in check with reality. You know, the constructive or inconstructive criticism that I get fuels me and helps me. And even the negative ones, mostly the negative ones, are driving me. You know, giving me the kind of you can't do it thing, you know. And thank you for that, because I'm going to show you how strong this man really is. You know, I've been doing a lot of talking. Daniel's reminded me, and some other people in the comments. Yeah, I have. You know, the road out of the hole. You know, if you go to rock bottom and stay there for 5 years bouncing on the bottom, you know, like I did, most people don't do that. They come back out of it a lot sooner than that, or they don't make it out ever. You know, I'm an extreme case, as usual. What I'm saying is, it didn't take one night to do all this damage. I'm not going to come out of it in a week either. You know, this is extensive damage and extensive wreckage. And I need total reconstruction. You know, I'm like Humpty Dumpty. You know, and all the king's horses and all the king's men can't decide whether I'm going to make it or not. I can't decide. I'm the one in the driver's seat. I'm the one in control. So, my goal is to really, I don't think it's too out there really, is to come flying out of this with my hair flying back, and in the end looking great and becoming a world-renowned drug counselor. You don't think that's out of the question, do you? All right. Okay, folks, friends and neighbors. Not really being not serious. Okay, anyways. This has been great. It's been good, but not real good.
Dr. Z.
Yeah, Dr. Z in the house.
This morning you were pretty happy about somebody offered you something and you turned it down.
Yeah.
I guess talk to us about why you did that.
Well, because I feel like for the first time I've got my, as I said, foot out of the grave. I'm coming out of that. You know, these negative comments kind of put me in perspective. All these people really think I'm an idiot, I'm a bozo, and I can't do it. And I'm not an idiot, I'm not a bozo. I can do it, and I'm going to do my best to prove it. And I always said, if I don't call the devil calls me. Well, that's what he did this morning. I had no money, I had no way to get anything, and somebody came up and just, the devil sent him. You know, they were one of his messengers, and he sent them over to me to help me fail, help me fall and crumble some more. I'm not down with that. As much as I thank him for his generosity, he can have it for himself.
So it was free? It was going to be free?
Yeah, free.
Oh, wow.
You know, just here you go. And I took it as an attack upon my future, my family, my love, my life, my hopes, my dreams, my sanity, my well-being, my future. And it ain't happening.
Why do you think it is that us as addicts talk a good game? Because I did the same freaking thing.
We talk a big game because, like I said, you didn't come flying into it. You're not coming flying out of it in a minute. Sometimes you got to get yourself revved up for the fight.
So we say something to make it sound good at the time to excuse whoever's in front of us?
You know what? No, we want to reassure our own selves that we could do it. We're telling not only other people, but we're telling ourselves, hey, I can do this. I'm better than this. I could make this happen. You know? We're not only reassuring mom and dad and the family and the girlfriend and the wife or whoever, we're assuring us. You know? And I'll tell you what, everybody needs positive, powerful, strength in this. It's not easy. It's not ever going to be easy. You know, my habit wasn't easy. It was hard. It was impossible. If I put half the energy into what I did when it came to that, into this, I'll be fine. I'll be doing great. You know, I put a lot of energy into my addiction. I made sure that I had to feed the monster. I made sure the monster got fed. You know? I'll tell you what. Thanks, haters, and otherwise. I feel strong. I feel powerful. I am better than that. And I was looking around today and seeing all the people, the associates and the people that I know in their slumber and in their sadness and in their heartbreak and in their whatever's got them held down. And I feel bad for them, and I don't want to look like them. I don't want to look like them. I'm not saying I'm better, but I'm saying I don't want to be one of them. I don't want to be one of them lost souls wandering around aimlessly in a half slumber, trying to kill their own pain and sadness from this or that or whatever. I don't want to be one of them.
Do you think addiction is a sign of weakness?
No. Heck no. You know what? In your addiction, you were strong. Think about how strong you were. You wouldn't take no for an answer. You made it happen.
That was the ultimate will, huh?
Yeah. You made it happen.
I walked miles just for...
Yeah, I walked from one end of the city to the other for... Yeah, me too.
Opposite sides of town, bro.
Me too.
To get well.
And I'll tell you what. If we put half the energy into that as we did into our addiction, we will be gold. You know, my addiction consumed my every move, my every thought, my every waking moment. It overpowered my loved ones. It made me forget about people I loved. It made me forget about my hopes and dreams and goals and everything. It made me think about anything past. I got to give me some stuff right away. You know, if anything past that, it wasn't important to me. That's very powerful. This is evil, is terrible, is horrible. And I curse it, and I curse the people that sent it, and I wish us all the best. Please, Lord, be with us. Give us strength in this. This is not your will. It was our will. And it wasn't even really our will if we think about it. We don't want this. This ain't what's up. This ain't where it's at. Your love is what we need. We need to follow your ways and get closer to you. Get closer to our families, our loved ones. Concentrate on what's important in life. Forget this madness. You know? Forget this madness.
Tell them why you don't want to get some medication from the hospital. Because my plan, my hope actually was to get him a shower and then stop by the hospital just to see stop by a new hospital, a different hospital to see what they would have to offer and then go from there. But Zack was telling me he didn't want to do that.
I can explain.
Yeah.
I can't explain, folks. Maybe this will shed a little more light. You know, maybe I haven't been totally honest about everything. I've been honest. I just didn't say some things. Okay, and there's a difference in that. Okay, hold on. Yeah, we're coming up.
Yeah.
Anyways, what I wanted to say was, if I went to the hospital, first thing they would do is they would hear about my symptoms. They would see my legs, and they would say, "Oh, you need to check in." And they can't just write me a script for intravenous antibiotics and send me on my way, or they would. I need to be checked in with intravenous antibiotics. The reason why they could not do that for me, and the reason why I don't go, is because of this. Last time I did go to the hospital, I was told, by the biggest hospital here, the main hospital, I was told that I cannot benefit from their treatment any further, and that I know what to do, and I've been here and done this, and I cannot, treatment would not benefit me any further from them. This is the way it is, basically. This is as good as it's getting, and I'm not going to really improve. They cannot fix me. The reason why is because when that crocodile one in the 90s was around, I got into that. It was an attack for, and they based this with gasoline. I believe gasoline. If I'm wrong about any of this, correct me. But I believe that it had gas in it, and I know it messed up a lot of people to where, when it mutated with this cellulitis from the blues, it cannot be fixed. There's nothing that I can do, or they can do for me, to make this go away.
Do you think they told you that just due to the extent of the damage?
No, because I already knew that I got into that. In the 90s, I already knew that.
They said we couldn't help you.
Yeah,
What do you think
that might be an exaggeration. Maybe they could help me, but they didn't want to.
Do you think it's because you weren't willing to play their game?
Well,
go along with the.
I explained that to them as well. They said, you're just going to leave AMA against medical advice like you always do, and we're going to waste any resources that we exhaust on you. And I said, well, you're just going to leave me sick and in pain, and not do your job and make sure I'm comfortable like you always do. And I said, that will ensure me leaving, which I will. I said, when you do that, I do that. And I said, I understand. I said, why don't we all just, I'll make a serious attempt this time to do this right, and you guys just make sure I'm all right. I wasn't on methadone at the time. I am now, and if I go there now, the only difference would be I would get my methadone each day, and I wouldn't be uncomfortable no matter what, even if they, or at least I probably would be uncomfortable, but just not as much, not all the way, full force uncomfortable, in the raw. I can't do that. There's no mortal man that could put up with this pain and agony that I'm dealing with. I'll tell you right now, no mortal man. Anybody couldn't walk 5 minutes in my shoes, and they couldn't barely roll 5 minutes in my shoes. I'm serious. It's a very extreme thing, an extreme case. And with the mental part of it and everything else, it's unbelievable. I'm not making excuses for myself. I'm saying that this is the way it is. It is what it is, and they assured me that I cannot be fixed from this. I believe they could be very right, and I believe that they could be right about me not benefiting from their treatment. They didn't even want to wrap it before I left, and I took an ambulance there. I couldn't even believe it. I left with a very bad taste in my mouth, and I left very upset. I left like they hated me. I said, I can't even walk. I said, you guys are going to have to carry me out of here. They pushed a wheelchair to me, said, take it and go.
Yeah.
And
Sounds
I said,
like
wow.
A situation that kind of went left.
Yeah.
Could have been avoided. And didn't have to go through that.
And naturally, I got another negative on my attitude card when they acted like that. And it makes me look, like it always makes me look in the end.
What do you think about me going with you when we go to a different place?
We could do it. I'm not going to.
just to see what they say at the desk, fill out the vibe.
Yeah.
Just go.
And see, the thing with the detox was this. I wouldn't be allowed in detox until my legs were addressed with first. You know, and that's not so easily done. So there you see my dilemma. It was a catch-22. It was a damned if I do, damned if I don't thing. You know, and now it's coming to a do or die thing. I have my liver treatment scheduled in the very near future. I've been told that I can get my housing if I stay clean. And there's some other perks and benefits that are coming my way as well.
So long story short, your plan is to take care of this from outside?
Yeah, yes.
From out here?
Long story short, I have a support system. I have a place to stay in the night, every night, that keeps me out of the element, the bad scene, the bad situation. You know, outside, running around in the same muck I'm trying to stay away from.
What about a shower?
I can't do that. A shower, I need to wash this muck off me.
Could you shower there at that place?
Yeah.
Wherever you're at?
No, I can't.
Oh, okay.
There's no shower, no running water.
So we'll take care of that Monday.
Yeah. So anyways, I just wanted to let everybody know, this is not about not wanting to. This is about not caring. This is not about anything like that. This is, I know what's up and I know what I got to do. I'm ready to do it. I cannot, if something doesn't work, then why would you try to do it again? Do something different. My father would say, Zachary, that's highly illogical. He's like Spock. That's highly illogical, Zach. Why would you entertain such an idea? Dad, I love you. You're awesome. And I just, he's so right. And, if I pull out of this, which there's a good chance I could, some of you might be giving some apologies. I hope I addressed the things that needed to be addressed. I know there's a lot of people that think I've just been a big bozo the clown up here playing around or whatever. I'm not. I'm really not. It's hard to get somewhere from nowhere. I'll say it again. And when I'm talking really from nowhere, with not a person to help you. Except for, there's a time when the only person that would help me was this guy. That's it. And I have a couple others now, but, if without them, I would already be gone. I'm just saying, I'm not ready to leave this world yet, not in my current situation. I've got plans for my future, and I do have one. And I'm the master of my own destiny, in control of my own destiny. I am. It's me. 80% is me. 20% is circumstance. I believe that, truly. I can do this. Say a prayer for me. God bless. Peace.